The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 are absolutely ripping. If we go over the past few days, I can tell you a few of these names, Nvidia, Microsoft, have all been at the tippity top of our watch list. Now, there's one thing everyone needs to know. Option Drops is providing you with the best overall information when it comes to the market to never be led astray. When we say to be patient, I think things played out pretty well. We bottomed out, and I'm telling you tomorrow, CPI, core inflation, just the beginning. I'm telling you something major will be happening with the dollar and yields based on the information we get in the morning. I'm going to tell you exactly what and why. Let's not waste time. Let's get to it. So number one, what we're starting with, let's jump right to it. We're going to go to equities. Hold your horses, okay? But number one, the Nasdaq. What were we talking about? What did we say? We said yesterday, as long as we are holding our key level at 16.8, we are bullish. Well, what amount, ladies and gentlemen? What amount? You're pushing into 17K was our next level that we mentioned. Most likely hits tonight. We already hit like 16.98. You're looking very good. Above this, back into all-time highs. The S&P. Let's look at SPY first. SPY is basically, you wicked off of 52-week highs right here. All-time highs are right there. So SPY is outperforming the Nasdaq on this bounce back to the upside. I want to let you know that right now. Going over to ES, we also showed you this as well. Getting back above, we posted this on Twitter, posted this in Discord. ES, ascending triangle to the upside. Guys, if you're not following or subscribed to the channel, you're doing yourself a disservice. As you go back, go to Twitter, giving you a vision. This is all free. You don't have to be on Discord or pay for any of this. It's all free. Apple, we told you about Apple. We talked about Tesla, January 6th. Exactly where Tesla went. Guess what it hit today? Right to the target. The rest of the market was bullish. Tesla was bearish, like we anticipated. Again, SPY, told you here. QQQ, we said you're mounting. You're looking for 17K today. Reminder, CPI is tomorrow. This is bright and early this morning. Guess what happens? You run up 200 points. It's free game, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we're looking at here. After CPI is bright and early, right in the morning, okay? Core inflation numbers. You're coming at tomorrow morning, really quick, as you can see here. Core inflation, 8:30 a.m. Central, okay? No, that's Eastern. So it's going to be an hour before market open, so 7:30 Central for me. Understand that. So Discord, you'll have your update bright and early as well. Now, again, this is what we're looking at. So a few things before we jump into this. In my opinion, it's kind of hard to tell you how I view us tomorrow. Now, personally, I believe CPI will continue on the trend of downside, right? Of the CPI continuing to come in lower and lower and lower like it has been. Why? Oil, energy continues to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Consumers, the spending is still relatively strong, but it is slowing, which pushes towards the narrative. But you're seeing people like, well, unemployment isn't high enough. People still have multiple jobs. So what it is what the Fed's okay with it. If the Fed's okay with it, I'm okay with it. What I always want to say is two. Okay, I want to say this really clear. I have my opinions on inflation and deflation, etc. But what matters more, my opinion or Fed Powell's opinion? Again, the answer is clear. If Fed Powell says he likes it, the market's going to go up, up, up like it has been. That's why when we bottomed, we knew that was most likely the short-term bottom. But I'll say right now, if CPI comes in higher than expected, okay, higher than expected, I do think we start to drop quickly. So I want to make that really clear. The basis of everything depends on at open what happens with that core reading. Okay, that's the biggest thing. So I'm going to highlight these levels. I'm going to show you everything I'm looking at. But again, nothing matters until we get to that point of where we are at open based on the results from CPI. I'll also have you update on Twitter, so make sure you're following there also. And again, just so you know, CPI numbers, your expected core, 0.3 month over month, year is 3.8, and then you have your other ones here. Core is the most important. So as long as you come out 3.8, you should be fine. Okay, so what are we looking at? Okay, again, let me show you the key levels just for now. This is like a little bit of a zone. You have a little bit of a supply zone here on the 2 hour and 4 hour. So that's going to be a resistance to get above. If you break mount, my opinion, you're running to all-time highs on NQ. Number one. Okay, that's there. To the downside, let's say CPI goes bad. Okay, you're looking for a break of 16.8, a retest, and a push back down to 16.6, and then hopefully 16.4 if things go bad. In between this range, okay, in between the range, I'm not interested anymore, okay? Because you know Tyler does not like trading the downside here. As long as we're in the uptrend, I don't want to go against the trend, right? Very clear. SPY, pretty easy here. If you get below 4 to 73.5, I get pretty bearish. I'm going to highlight that right now. Everything else, don't really care. DXY, what is happening here? DXY has been extremely volatile. Very, very, very. Now your key level is right here, 102.64. You're rejecting over and over. You're pushing back down. You want to see the dollar get below 102.2 and hold. That's what I care about. Getting back below and holding, and hopefully pushing towards 101.7. But I'm going to tell you right now, if it goes well, core inflation drops or comes out at expected, I see the dollar dropping quickly and getting very volatile. It's already pretty volatile. It'll probably stay very volatile. The 30-year yield, very important. Again, very, very important. You're at our key level, previous lows. You also have the 200 SMA right here as well. Okay, very important to identify. Major inflection point. Again, if data comes out good, you're going to see the yields drop quick. And I would be targeting below 4% by next week. Personal opinion. Like it, love it, hate it. I don't care. That's what I'm viewing. Also, too, I do want to highlight. I had these hidden because I wanted to go over those key levels first. But just to give you a visual, when we're going over these charts, you're looking at all of our indicators here. Everything is brought to you by Chart Prime. The link is down below. So if you want to use our indicators, everything we're looking at there, we even have the supply and demand zones on there as well, order blocks, liquidity levels. Those links are all down below, so make sure you check them out. Now, again, I can only be so clear about this. Okay, I can only be very clear about this. Be very, very clear. Okay, I'm only going to be looking at the upside on these charts for right now because my expectations are to the upside. However, again, if CPI data comes out bad, I'm not going to look for upside. I got to make that very clear. I'll have a lot of charts posted on Twitter tomorrow, so make sure you're following and checking out there. But again, I'm primarily looking for upside continuation on stocks like Microsoft, Nvidia, and I have a new personal favorite that has a lot of potential. I mean, I started getting in pretty heavy today on this one, and I mentioned in Discord, and it's already running, so we'll talk about that as well. But again, I favor the upside right now. If data comes out bad, I'll get out of everything. I'll let everything play out. I'll see how the market settles. Again, that's what I'm doing here. I've already made a lot of money off of Nvidia and quite a bit off of Microsoft. So those are just runners. But again, we have some big setups, but just have a plan going into this. I say this and I see this all the time in the comments down below. Someone's like, I lost all this money on this because this didn't work out. You got to have a trade plan before you go into a stock or go into an equity or going into an option. If you go into it blind, you're just like, I like the way this is moving and we're going to go up, you're probably going to lose money. Or if things go bad, you're going to freak out and you're not going to be able to have a clear-cut plan. How to get in, how to get out, where should I be my exit be, what's my stop loss, what's happening, right? You're just lost. You never want to be lost when you're inside of a trade because only bad things can happen. So one is Microsoft. And Microsoft, oh my God, we finally did it. Like, isn't it beautiful? Like, we finally did it on Microsoft. We've been trading in the range, and what have we been saying? It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. You've all seen this already, okay? But you're basically at all-time highs right here at 384, okay? I am looking for Microsoft to get above 384. I personally believe Microsoft is going to make a run towards 400. That is my personal opinion. You are in price discovery, though. So what are you looking for? This is what you want to see on Microsoft. Okay, if you're not in it already, you didn't get the lucky break there. Discord, you already got the entry, so you do whatever you want to do. You want to see the break and the retest. You want to see a break above and then a retest on a 5, 15-minute, whatever it may be. Don't care. Retest 384.3 after you break above it, and you are strong. You're going to get continuation. I'm very bullish. Nvidia, dear God, I don't even know what to chart out here. I don't even know where to mark a target at. You broke above your massive ascending triangle, which we were tracking for weeks, if not months. You broke out. You're moving up very, very quickly, very liquid. Again, I have runners. I'm not getting any new positions here. I have Microsoft. Basically, what I did here is I rolled over a lot of the profits from Nvidia, threw them into Microsoft on the break. That's what I'm letting run now. These are my favorite plays, Nvidia and Microsoft. Now, my new one, the new one, Apple. Now, again, you know what? You know when people say you got to buy when the people are fearful? I don't know if options really jumps into that idea. But what I will say is when you want to take swings and you want to buy things low, Apple's one of the best things to do. When you were back down here, everything was going bad for Apple. You had the craziest run ever back to the upside. I'm not saying the same run's going to happen, but I love where we're at, and I love the setup potential. You have these kind of flagging down, you break out, you're making higher lows on the time frame as well, like we mentioned in yesterday's video, right? Higher lows, you're mounting this level, you mounted your next level, and you're breaking out. Very bullish structure, very strong. You have room into 187.5. If you mount 187.5, I'm incredibly bullish. Incredibly. I'll probably buy more. But you have a daily gap all the way up to like 191.8. And then you have this level here at 191. You have a lot of room. Options are very cheap on Apple, in my opinion. Do what you want with that information. What I'm going to leave you with here. But I want to like just let you in like the idea of this. So I posted this on Twitter earlier. I didn't post that I got in or anything, but I just posted about the trade for free. Like I post a lot of stuff for free. And so, you know, look how you want to look at it, right? I'm open to everything. Or it's bear flagging for another run at the 200 or back in the box. Not going to get excited until it mounts over 188.5, which is cool if you have a plan. Cool. Seriously, you're buying Apple or you're getting Apple. Who are you hoping is going to buy the Vision Pro? Yeah, I'm not planning to hold through earnings, but was the Vision Pro what sent you up here? You know, what brought us up before? It's the fact that people are buying the company, right? People are buying the name. Hedge funds have proven this week that they are buying. End of story. So I want to highlight that. I want to say that as many times as possible. Your most selling came right down here at lows, which was absorbed by buying. These are things that are very bullish in my opinion and things that I'm watching very, very closely. Do what you want with that information. I like Apple. I think if data comes out good, Apple is going to thrive. Again, that's what I'm looking at. Again, data comes out bad, I get out of the trade. No harm, no foul. Okay, again, that's what I'm looking at. You have a lot of room here. And if there's a stock that I like a giant gap on, it's going to be Apple. Absolutely. I love what's playing out here. Those are my top 3 names. If I had to give some runners up, let me go over them. I mentioned Amazon a week or so ago down here at 144. You're cruising. You're breaking out. You need above 156, so that's your next level. So mark that out. Tesla, you came down to the 200 SMA. Damn near perfect. It makes sense for a long down here. You have a little bit of a wedge. I don't love it. I'm not getting it. I want to trade Tesla when you get back above 246. I have no reason to trade it inside this box of doom. It's been actually absolutely treacherous, terribly weak name, but I would expect a bounce from the 200 SMA, but I'm not trading it. Netflix, a lot of people asking about this trade. Very simple trade. What you want to see is quickly this, a break, a retest, a push up. 485 is your key level. You mount 485, you are bullish. Go long, 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 long. Not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, as is everything here on the channel. Okay, so those are my favorite things I'm looking at. Google as well. We mentioned the bump and run that was playing out here a few days ago as well. You broke out, came back down to the trend line, bounced. Very, very strong. Again, Google's pushing up. I love all the AI names. I think Google is one of the undervalued names like Amazon. I think Google has potential to run into 151 to 152. That's more of a stock name for me. I wouldn't be going too heavy into options there. That's my personal opinion. I want to be really clear about everything I'm talking about here. I've said the same thing a lot in this video, but I have to say it again. Do not just rush into option plays, right? When I'm talking about these, like I mentioned yesterday, as long as we're mounting above 16.8 on NQ, I'm bullish and trading to the upside. Same thing going into tomorrow. As long as CPI goes decent, and I'll know an hour before market open, and I'll have it posted on Twitter, I'm trading to the upside, right? That's how I'm looking at the market. Unless we have terribly bad data or something terrible comes out, right? That's how I'm looking at it. But I'm giving you reasons and what to look for before the day comes out. I'm trying to be more clear and direct with what I'm looking for so you guys understand. And hopefully you guys can put this into practice as well. And hopefully it changes the way you trade and helps you and benefits you. That's ultimately what I want for you guys, is to ultimately use this channel as an indicator and help and maybe give you a little bit of insight to what's happening with the market. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything like that. But hopefully opens your eyes to some of the facts and what's taking place out in the market and gives you some news. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.